Missouri River down there. This is Charlie Russell country. You can see how rough this country is. This is the snowy range of mountains. They need dogs that are hardy and bred and raised to work cattle. So they can go down here in these canyons and draws and travel up over these ridges and bring cattle out to them. You can imagine how much work it would take just to ride this country and gather cattle without dogs. These are some of the cattle that they run. They run lots of black cattle, black Bollies, Herefords, all different kind of cattle up in this country. And they need dogs that can go down on their own and bring these cattle out. It's a beautiful range, isn't it? Well, way out here, about 3/4 of a mile, you can see some cattle leaving the country. They've seen the trailer and pickup pull up, and they're leaving out. We'll be over a mile away. Now, the dogs can't see these cattle. They're having to take it on faith that the cattle are out there. We've sent them, and so they figure they must be out there. You'll be able to see a few dots up here on the skyline. There they are, right in the center. See that white dot and the black dot? Those are the cattle. They've gone back there and got them. I've sent 2 dogs. I've sent a border collie one way and an Australian shepherd the other way. Just wanted to show you how far an Australian shepherd will go. People think that you can only use them in an arena or in corrals, and that's just not so. If they're trained and bred right, they'll go this far to get cattle. You'll notice every once in a while the cattle go down out of sight for a little bit. Here they're back in sight, and then they'll dip down again. This is an 8-power telephoto lens that we're using. You can see how far out these cattle are. There you see them starting to come back up over the ridge again. All right, there they are up on top. Every once in a while we shut this camera off because it just takes too long to wait for them to come back up out of a canyon. Now here they're going down a little one. We'll watch here. I might have to shut the camera off again until they come out, but they'll come out here in just a second. They've gone a long ways, and so it takes a while for them to come back out. Occasionally this microphone's going to cut out during this filming, so bear with it. Well, here they come back out again. Them dogs, you'll notice, are bringing them at a fast walk or a slow trot. They kind of let the cattle choose their own speed. They'll come down here. We parked this trailer on a gravel road where we could get to, and we saw these cattle taking off across the country. And we just sent the dogs. So the dogs are bringing them. We've left the trailer gates open and step back. The dogs will bring them up and load them by themselves. You notice these cattle aren't hot or slobbering. They don't get them running or anything. They just bring them on steady. They'll bring them up here. One dog will work one side and one will work the other. All right, they've turned back a little sharp here. And so Bear's going to start to go turn them, and then he'll decide, no, he'll just get back. He sees his partner turning them, and he's going to get back and hold them, and they'll put them in this trailer by themselves. We don't have to walk up and help push them in or anything. Isn't this nice? This beats having to beat on them, doesn't it? Now they'll walk up and hold them in. This is Davine Peters sending Hangin Tree black bear to load a trailer with some cattle in the corral. This is her first time to load cattle with this dog, and so the dog's obeying her commands, but he's a little jerky on the commands. She's not quite sure of how to, but this is one good dog. Dogs guaranteed to work. She won't breed any dogs that don't work. It's foolish to put any more dogs in this country that don't work, and so she can guarantee her pups that they will want to work. I'm Gary Ericsson. They've asked me to narrate this film. I've been raising these dogs for over a quarter of a century. And Hangin Tree Black Bear here comes from a dog called Hangin Tree Buddy that used to be registered in the National Stock Dog Registry and was hard shipped into the Australian Shepherd Club of America. All right, now she'll bring this dog back around and bring him out from behind that truck before she caves in the side of the truck. He's trying his best to obey just exactly what she says, but she hasn't worked with him enough to really have an understanding of how far to send him. So sometimes you'll see these things don't go quite as smooth on this film as they could if someone else that the dog knew better was handling him. But she's doing a good job. This is quite a ranch woman here. Rogers and Davine have been around horses and cattle all their lives. Rogers ranched up in Montana with his dad since he was a little boy. All right, he got these cattle loaded. You know, there wasn't a bunch of screaming or hollering, not a bunch of waving sticks and beating cattle. All she had to do was send that dog, and he went and got him. Well, that was Hangin Tree Black Bear. This is her main stud dog. Here he is coming. She's going to work some sheep with him. And she's called him to jump that fence and come help her. This dog has a work and trial championship. He got it when he was 1.5 years old. He went to one Australian Shepherd show. Most dogs have to go to shows for 5-6 years before they can finally get a work and trial championship. This dog went to one show. Out of his 6 scores that he needed under 2 different judges, he never got a score less than 100. She sent him out on an outrun now, and you'll watch him. He can work sheep, ducks, he can work chickadees or rhinoceroses. This is one good dog. It's the best dog in the Australian Shepherd breed. Davine and Roger paid $20,000 for this dog, and he's lined up to pay himself off in 1 year through puppies and stud fees. There's not very many dogs in the country that can do that. She brought him through the chute. She's going to show you a cross drive now. The dog will take these over to the side. See how easy he's handling these sheep, where he might take a hold of the cattle. He'll handle these sheep just as much pressure as they need, and the goats. These are Angora goats. All right, now he's coming by. A little late in sending in, missed one. But he can put them through any kind of an obstacle. A dog like this is so nice to have. You can sit in your armchair and send this dog, and he'll do the work. See how steady and nice he's working these sheep. Davine's been handling some other dogs. You'll notice that she's wearing a jacket for the senior champion for stock dogs in Montana, for the NAPSHA, North American Professional Stock Dog Handlers Association. So she's no slouch. It's just that this dog is new to her. She's been handling others, and it takes a while for a dog to get used to you, and so he's working just a little bit jerky. But she'll be tough to beat when she starts showing this dog. She just won a trial up in Montana with him here the other day. But this isn't the reason she got the dog for trialing. She got the dog to raise some excellent stock dog for ranchers. As I said, Davine looked at him shed these sheep off for her. This is Hangin Tree Spook, her other stud dog. This dog only has a couple of weeks of training on him, but he'll already handle cattle or sheep. This was one of the easiest dogs to start that I've ever seen. He just loves to do whatever you ask him. He's a big blue merle dog, and some of his pups have been really good. In fact, they all have been. She's sent him back after these sheep now. She's going to go down and use him to sort at the gate. But he'll work any kind of stock too. See how easy he handles? When she sits down, he just drops. Really a nice kind of a dog. Just wants to be a friend. This is the friendliest, most loving dog I've seen in a long time. So lay him down there and tell him to wait. And now I told him to ease up. She's gonna hold back these 3 sheep and let the cattle out. You want to cut out the goats and the cattle away from these sheep so she could work them for just a moment. All right. He's pushed them up. She's cut them out at the gate. This is how you usually work these dogs. You run the gate and let the dogs bring the stock and keep pushing and sorting. She's sending him back to get him. He's just brought him out of the pen this morning, and he is full of it. A little excited. But we wanted to get some of this on film so she could show you the quality of the dog she's got. As I said, I've been raising these dogs for over a quarter of a century. And due to pressures, sold our home place here, and we're raising a new breed of dog called a Hangin Tree cow dog. That's a slick-haired dog. We also raised some border collies. And we just run it out of time. I wanted to concentrate on this new breed. And Davine and Roger have agreed to keep this line of dogs going, so 30 years of breeding won't go down the tubes. And we've been friends with the Peters for a long time. They've got a beautiful ranch up in Montana and are just excellent stock people. And so we've sold them our entire line of Australian Shepherds. She's got 7 of the best bitches that you could ever imagine. Some of them don't have much training on yet, but they were all bitches that went to work early when they were just little puppies, and they had so much concentration and were so easy to learn and to teach that we kept them for brood bitches. And this is what she's got. Now she'll show you just a little bitty segment of each dog working, because we never breed a dog that doesn't work first. This is Hangin Tree Spook. Isn't he a pretty rascal? Got left eye is blue and right eye is brown with a crack of blue in it. This is a nice dog. He'll guard your place or work cattle. He doesn't care. They're bred to work cattle. All these dogs are bred tough enough to work cattle. Now they'll work anything, because you can always back a tough dog off, but you can't call on a wimp. And this is a beautiful alert dog, Hangin Tree Spook. This dog will be crossed with Hangin Tree Trouble and Hangin Tree Roja most of the time, and some of our other black dogs. This is Hangin Tree Trouble that you're seeing right behind you. Hangin Tree Roja. Roja is Spanish for red, and she's going around the front. She works the front better, and Black Trouble here works the heels best. They make a great team, and so they work these dogs quite a bit together. These are just young dogs, both of them. They both worked up on the range, and they're used to working out more than they're used to working in close. These are nice dogs. You can see some of her dogs will be shed out and won't have much hair on them because they've had puppies. But look at these 2 dogs work together. Now you'll watch this Trouble. She's just going to move them around here for you. You watch Black Trouble, which is the first dog we'll emphasize here. Watch her hit these heels. And even when she gets kicked, boy, she'll just keep coming. See, boy, look how she reaches in there and gets them. Now Roja will hit heels too. She'll hit either end, but she's better on the front. See how she goes around to turn? She knows to stay out wide enough so she can turn everything. There, she's getting a hold. You can't see it from this side, but if they don't turn, she'll sure get a hold and turn them. And so will Trouble. But when they work together as a pair like this, She lets Roja run the front end, and she works the back end mostly. You can see she helps turn, but she is a healing machine. See that? All right. Here she's working sheep. She's out of Hangin Tree Cola and Black Bear. She a pretty thing? Look how athletic and strong these dogs are. They're not them big, hairy, fuzzy things that don't work. All right, she come in there and nipped one when she didn't think they were going hard enough, but you can see she doesn't hit them hard. Just hard enough to keep bringing them. There. Got hold of some hair and pulled some hair on that goat there. But a dog like this you can do about anything with. So you can see why her puppies are guaranteed to want to work. She never breeds anything that doesn't work. Davine handles most of the puppy business, and Roger works the cattle. He'll take 2 or 3 dogs and go to the mountains or go down on the Indian reservation, wherever he's running cattle, and go gather the cattle. Okay, Hangin Tree Black Trouble. This is a young dog. I think she's about 3 years old now. You'd think the gray meant that she's old, but she just got a little bit of tint of gray around her muzzle. All right, this is Hangin Tree Roja. You saw her working cattle a minute ago. Roja's just had a week or so of formal training. The rest of the time she just works and gathers cattle. But she's bringing some sheep here. You'll see her nip once in a while just to move them on a little faster. She's got them bunched up here. They're about to run over the handler. You'll send her around, bring them up the chute. All she wanted to do is show you that every one of her females work. Now, if you folks want to copy this tape, it's plumb all right. The FBI isn't going to come shoot your horse or poison your water hole. Let as many of your friends see it as you want to. She just put this together for your enjoyment and for your knowledge of how her dogs work. And so you're more than welcome to copy it. Hangin Tree Roja. See the amber eyes? Isn't she a pretty thing? Bright red, just really dark. And she's a traveling machine. She can go and go and go. All right. This is Hangin Tree Buff. Hangin Tree Buff is by Hangin Tree Buddy, which is the same sire as Black Bear. Buff here's just a real young dog. She's had 1 litter of pups so far, but she wanted to work from the time she was a puppy. Trying to keep her back here, keep her from biting too much, just backing her off. She's a little excited. She'll take a hold. Like I say, these dogs will work anything. Here she is working sheep. This puppy started to work before she was weaned. Just crawling through little holes in the fence and going out and working. She's taking a hold a little bit more than you'd like up close. But she's got very little training on her. She's just a very young dog. You don't have time to finish out every one of these brood bitches. But when you see the talent they show as youngsters and how hard they want to work, then you know you've got a working dog. All right, this is her sister, a litter mate, Hangin Tree Dottie. This dog was shown and won the 2nd in the junior division in Utah for the NAPSHA. She went back to the North American Supreme Championship. She won a berth back there. But this is only the 2nd time that Davine has worked her. And so she's working just a little excited here. But She will take a hold, as you can see, and put cattle in that trailer. All right, here she is working sheep. Isn't this a nice little dog? All these Australian Shepherds make an outrun, go out, gather their stock, bring them to you. You can drive away later if you want to, but they go out and bring the stock to you so that you don't have to ride over every ridge and down into every canyon. See how well behaved they are. When she says down, they just drop. She'll right there and bring them on up, and they'll walk up and help her shed. Hangin Tree Dottie, isn't she alert looking dog? Wind's blowing into her face now, standing her ears almost straight up. But her ears tip over at the ends. Just a beautiful dog. All right, this is Hangin Tree Maggie. Maggie can definitely move stock. This is one of the best puppy producers for cattlemen that I've had. Man, she produces some good dogs. She's usually bred to Hangin Tree Black Bear, and she produces some excellent pups. They're strong and hard-working pups. Watch her here. She circles these cattle. She's just gonna circle them for a little bit before she takes them up close to the trailer to let you see how the dog works, let you see the pressure she can put on cattle. Hangin Tree Maggie was by a dog that we raised called Hangin Tree Buddy Powers. This was a powerful dog. He could work anything. Man, he was tough. And yet you could control him. And out of a bitch called Hangin Tree Lane. But isn't she a nice little dog? Try not to raise any of them great big dogs. They're too clumsy. They wear out too quick when you're going for miles out on the range. A medium-sized dog will get the work done so much easier. They're so much quicker, and they don't wear themselves out. See how controllable and nice she is? This is the kind of dogs that Roger and Davine Peters are trying to raise. Left eye is blue, right eye's amber, or brown as they call it. I like the alert look on these dogs. Isn't she a pretty thing? Just weaned a litter of pups off her just a little while ago. These dogs will work right up to the day they have pups. I have been working one of these dogs and see them slow up a little bit, which is uncharacteristic of these dogs, to start dragging and look over and see that they were starting to have puppies, and go put them up and they'd have 8 puppies and come right back out and go to work. They're amazing, and yet they're excellent mothers. And they'll nurse each other's pups. They're just kind, and they're working machines. All right. This dog here you're seeing now is a little black dog. She just had pups, and so you can see she's pretty well shed out. After they wean the pups, boy, they shed their hair out. This is Hangin Tree Megan. Megan's worked cattle all of her life. Her life's been pretty short. She's only about 3 years old, I think. Hangin Tree Megan won second in the junior division for the state of Montana. The state of Idaho 1 year. These dogs work on the ranch every day. And when there's a trial or something, they go off and work cattle at a trial on a weekend. But they might work cattle on the ranch in the morning and go to a trial in the afternoon. They're bred to work. Hangin Tree Megan. She's plumb slick hair to here. Just wean them puppies. This is Hangin Tree Cinnamon Teal. one of the smoothest, most stylish working dogs that you're ever going to see. Cinnamon Teal is by Hangin Tree Huckleberry, owned by Jenny Johnson. Jenny won the Northwest Futurity with him 1 year. Cinnamon Teal was out of Hangin Tree Lass, who was Ranch Dog Excellent, if you're interested in that stuff. Most of these dogs are either Ranch Dog Excellent or have a working trial championship on them, but that's not what's really important. It's whether they work on a ranch is what's important. Now, some of these younger dogs don't, because they haven't been there. I think some of them have gone to one trial and they won their division in the trial, but they're just young ranch working dogs. Notice how easy she handles and how she brings these cattle up, puts them in. You notice the cattle move away from her without any biting. Now, she will take a hold if she needs to, but she just got a presence about her, and stock just move away. Here she's working some Angora goats. We sent her out wide. She's going to circle and bring these goats in. See how easy she does, and see how she keeps her distance. Moves in only when it's necessary to keep moving. This is a very stylish bitch. She got the sweetest personality you can imagine, and she can work anything, like I say. Here she is, going to pen some ducks. Put them in this little dog carrier. See how easy she moves? Isn't this a nice dog? She's a red merle. Walk up and hold them there. This dog can be worked by anybody. Little kids can work her, or ladies, or men. Doesn't make any difference. Here she is trying to crawl over and play with the baby. This is Davine and Roger's youngest daughter, Jean. That I told them it sounded like they stuttered when they named her, but she's a cute little baby. Look at her pull the nose and pull the hair on that bitch. Isn't that neat? And the dog just loves her. She's just learning to get around. That crawling through that grass. That won't be long. She'll be up and running. Then she'll keep the dogs busy, won't she? Little Jean. See the dog whistle around her neck? I think they plan on her growing up and running cattle. Roger Peters live in Royal, Montana is their address. Their phone number is 406-464-2421. People are always asking, what are these dogs' disposition like? Are they going to hurt my baby and stuff? Well, just about like this. I can't think of a better bunch of people that we could have sold our line of Australian Shepherds to. I'm very proud of these dogs, and Davine and Roger are the kind of people that will raise good working dogs with decent dispositions. We hope you've enjoyed this film. Show your friends, and if you want to buy a pup that's guaranteed to want to work, you couldn't go wrong by getting with Davine and Roger Peters. Thank you for your time, and I hope you'll enjoy this. This is a buckle won by Hangin Tree Black Bear. He's won 2 state championships.